Hello my friends, Blackendrose here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. Well actually no, I've done something like this before, but anyway. This is No Rules Racing 2, produced by EnderMCProductions, and I'm narrating this after having recorded it. Now this is No Rules Racing 2, and as you can see I am now about to start racing on the Hills track. Now, I've done a little bit of something like this before. I did a No Rules Racing that was also produced by EnderMCProductions, gotta get this right. And this is his latest work. Now he's been working hard on this to try and get it a lot better, and credit where it's due, he's actually put a lot more into this. Now it's basically, the controls are very simple. It's using the arrow keys to accelerate, decelerate, take those tight corners, and left and right. So it's really basic stuff. This is made on Unity, I believe. Yeah, I believe it is Unity, along with the racing game kit, as you can see in the bottom left there. And yeah, this is No Rules Racing 2 at the moment. Now, this is a review of the indie game, and I have a lot of respect for EnderMCProductions because a lot of the stuff he's done has been really good for free indie content made through Unity. And you just got to look at the skyline there to see the graphical quality. Bear in mind, this is on the lowest graphical setting because my PC is aged and decrepit and would struggle on the higher settings, and it still looks pretty good on the lowest graphical setting. So think what this would be like on the highest setting. Just think about that for a moment. Okay, so gameplay wise, it is basically just a rally style racer. There's 7 other NPC racers who are absolutely brutal in their racing, and sometimes a little bit cheeky on the physics. And yeah, you just drive the red car and just hope you can beat them. And as you just saw there, I span out a little bit. Now, I will say some of the racing physics in this are a little bit fiddly. You can slide around quite a bit. It's almost like you're like on grease at some times. So if you get knocked in the back, you just slide right out completely. But this is still an in-development game. I've actually had this downloaded for quite a while. I actually did record this about a week ago, but unfortunately I ran into some trouble with the sound, as in my narration of it. So I've decided to do it again, and here we are. So I played it again. The tracks themselves, some are, as you'll see a bit later, I mean the Hills one is rather winding and does go on a little bit. It doesn't go on too much, but it goes on a little bit. It's a little bit winding. The track is actually reasonably well defined for you to follow it, even though your car may have an instinctive desire not to follow it at times. Yeah, that was when I found out what the handbrake button was and realised that it is rather useless. Currently there's only one vehicle you can play and it's pre-selected for you, but hopefully he'll bring in some more vehicles later. Yep, I came 5th there. It's, that was that. Every time you finish a race, it takes you back here. Yeah, there you go. Jolly Studios. And I think we're on to Snow next. Snow 1. Now, this one might go on a little bit because I did run into a few issues on this track, which you will discover as you watch this. Now, watch carefully as I go up this hill. The camera is centered behind your car, and this has an instinctive problem right there. Because the physics can be a little bit off, yeah, that's what happened. Now, there is a restart. No, sorry, I don't think it's restart. It's like it places your car back on the track by pressing the R button. Now, in this particular track, it was a little bit haphazard. It would sometimes drop me off the track. So there I go off the track, and then it drops me off the track again, and then it drops me off the track again, and then it drops me upside down on the track. Now, as you can see, my wing mirror is rather defined at the moment. That's because there is damage, well, I'll say damage, there is indications of damage on here. So as you crash your car a bit, your car sort of warps a bit. I mean, this is made in Unity, so, oh, there I go. Yeah, you can see what's happening to my car now. It is made in Unity, so obviously it doesn't take the physics quite seriously. I mean, by the end of this race, my car looks like something that shouldn't be possible to drive. But it's a nifty little additional feature to put into it, just to see how your car gets warped and damaged as you end up crashing your car, and it's quite fun to see. And again, the graphical quality on this track is very bright. It's very defined. You can see the track clearly. Although my ability to stay on the track, especially going up this section, it becomes rather difficult to keep up with it. Whoa! There I go. I'm off again. Hit the restart. Yep, I'm back. I think I'll have to wait until I hit the ground before I hit the restart again. Anyways, I do eventually get through this track, so you'll have to bear with me on this one. Let's see what else. The soundtrack, I mean, I can't hear it at the moment because I have, while I'm narrating this and watching it, I won't hear the sound, but the soundtrack in it is very much rally style. It's like a very upbeat, sort of like rock style sort of thing. I think there's only one soundtrack in this, but it's still a decent one, and the sound effects for the cars does seem appropriate, like the high octane revving of the car and you're just driving along. You don't really need much more to it than that, and the soundtrack does seem to suit the high octane driving, just like driving around bashing into people and that sort of thing. Wish there were more cars in it. There was in the original one. I think this is like a complete remake, so there may be more added in, and there may even be more by the time this goes live, because I did download it a while ago. So, and he does do a lot of work, this guy, and bear in mind he does this on his own. I mean, just think about that. This is the work he's done on his own. He's really been working hard on this. I think one of the bigger developers could take him on, sponsorship deal, and God knows what this guy will make. Okay, what else? What else have we got in this? There's 5 tracks, which I have showcased all of them to try and give a good cross-section of the game, the driving. I do eventually learn how to take corners sharper, but it was only in the last track that I worked this out, which involves using forwards and backwards, pretty much. Okay, what else have we got in this? Talked about sound, talked about audio, talked about the graphics, talked about the gameplay. To be honest, there isn't really much more to go on this. I mean, you could there might be. I wonder how possible it is to introduce like a split-screen multiplayer element to this. I mean, obviously something like this couldn't really have online play, but I wonder how plausible it would be to have like split-screen multiplayer. Be an interesting idea. I mean, it does look like one of those games that you just sort of play like while screwing around, just like having a mate over and just screwing around on the track and things like that. Could be quite a bit of fun, but who knows? There's an idea of Mrs. Developer, as well as other cars. The possibility of like a split-screen multiplayer. That could be an interesting one. I doubt you'd get. I can understand that it'd probably be impossible to get like a sort of LAN multiplayer sort of thing, because that could probably be pushing a bit too far. But could be an interesting idea. It's actually quite fun thinking about it. I do enjoy helping indie development grow, and I mean I showcase EnderMCProductions stuff because I like the work he does, and I like to support the indie community because there is some really great stuff coming out of indie. I mean, look at Five Nights at Freddy's. That is technically an indie game, and to be fair, this guy actually came to me asking me to do a clip on this in a review, and what with the bugs I've been having lately, as in physical bugs, because I've been rather ill, I had some depressing times before Christmas, and then really from the time of Christmas to about now, I've actually just been recovering from this flu to the point where my voice is more stable again. This is actually me trying out my voice to see if I can do this again. And so far, seems to be holding up quite well. So, we'll do some more recordings after this. Hopefully. Today, maybe. Later. I don't know, I've got Montos to upload. Anyways, this is the city track. It's rather dark on my screen. It's a rather small track, but I think the way... because a lot of the stuff I've seen in the tracks before have all been very much like outdoorsy type, like rural tracks. This one actually does it rather well. I don't know why there's trees appearing on the road. It seems a little bit weird. But the inclusion of the buildings around the outside is actually quite a nifty idea. It really does add to the theme. And I think it's really well done. There's the one after this called Canal. I absolutely love for its graphical quality because it is just. I didn't think you could do some of those things in Unity, and you'll see it in a little bit. You'll see what I mean, and I'll describe it as we go. Okay, let's see where. I think this must be the track that I actually won. The only one I was able to win. But does make one wonder. Who knows? Maybe I actually have a chance at this. Not bloody likely. Racing games were never really much my forte. Although, if you saw my Mario Kart history, you'd probably think otherwise. Okay, here we go. Canal. Now, look at the reflection in the water. Look at that. That is just brilliant. The scenery is well done. There's the buildings around the outside. The water effects. My driving's still pretty poor. This is actually one of the tracks I had a bit of difficulty on though, because the physics got a little bit funny with me at times. I don't know if it's how this particular game just operates with the Unity physics, but look at that reflection quality there. That is stellar. I mean, that's good. Good grade indie development stuff. Oh, I think I need to restart. Yep, there we go. Just re-flip myself with a quick press of the R button. If only real cars could do that. Now, see, that was one bit that irritated me slightly, is that by landing relatively flat, I still ended up doing things like that, and that was a bit of an irritation. Especially considering the first time I recorded this track, I actually won. But I don't think I actually win this one this time. Oh, crashed into you. Never mind. Who cares? There's no rules in this. Including the rules on physics and gravity, there's no rules. The laws of physics do not apply in No Rules Racing. There are no rules. Oh dear, look at me, I'm rolling all over the place. Oh, look at that. Now, look at that car at the moment. That is not a car that looks like it can drive anymore. That just looks like a crumpled mess. Looks absolutely terrible. I mean, it's really well made graphically, but it just looks like a terrible car at this point. Whoops! And look at those wheels. They should not be spinning. Oh, that takes me back. I'm actually surprised that EnderMCProductions actually comes to me to record this stuff, because I never really saw myself as that good. I'm sure there are bigger names out there that would be more than happy to put their name to this sort of stuff. Someone actually contacted me about No Rules Racing, said they wanted to do a sponsorship on this. And like I say, this isn't my creation, so I thought I'd pass them on to the developer. I hope they got in touch with him, because he deserves a sponsorship deal out of this. But seriously, here we go, the last track, Mountain 1. Although you don't actually see the whole name on the screen earlier. Okay, so I think this one I have a little bit of trouble on, and you'll see where I have trouble on this one. Here we go, moving along. Going up, going up. Here we go. Yep, camera goes back under, and I've just realised. Yep, there's a. Got to slow down before I reach the top. Whoa! Someone nearly jumped a bit there. The AI gets a little bit funny on some of these tracks. Sometimes it gets around them quite deftly, and other times it sort of gets stuck in places. I think this is one of them where some of the AI elements got a little bit stuck. Like in the city level, they got very stuck, I must admit. What's the time left for this? About 3 more minutes left on this. Okay. So overall, I think this is quite a solid game, quite well made. Still in early development, so there's a lot more that could come out of this. But there's a few bugs here and there. That going the wrong way sign appears a bit too readily at some points, and I think that's just the way it's mapping the track. It might be a little bit fiddly. Probably the inclusion of more vehicle choices would probably be a good idea. Maybe even stats on the vehicles, like one has like better control, but like a worse acceleration or better top speed, things like that. Just thinking Mario Kart at this point. But graphically it's actually quite solid. I think you'll need a stronger computer to play it on the higher graphical settings, so bear that in mind. I didn't encounter any frame rate issues, which is actually quite good, because the first time I recorded this I did, but I think that was my PC that had trouble. Sound and audio wise, I think that's spot on for what this is, the high octane driving sort of experience. So on the whole, it's not perfect, but there is a lot of potential here and a lot to work on, and I think with a little bit of polish here and there, just tweak up some of the mechanics, perhaps decrease some of the sliding around that goes on, a couple of little additions, maybe some more tracks, maybe even a Grand Prix mode where you score points, could just add to the theme a little bit. Multiplayer could be an interesting addition, but I know that could be difficult to implement. But yeah, I quite like this. I will leave a link in the description for where you can download this from. It should be available on Game Jolt, and I'll have to dig out the link again because it has been a while since I had it. But yeah, check out this guy's work. He appears on YouTube as EnderMCProductions, but I think he has a different name on Game Jolt. But if you look on the link I provide, you'll know who it is, and check out some of his other work. He's got some good stuff. He's done some horror. I've showcased a lot of it on my channel before, so look at some of my older clips and have a look around. Okay, so I think we're edging our way to the end of this track. Oh, crashed a bit there. Never mind, can't win them all. So I should be edging my way close to the end of the track. Oh, whoops. I crashed into someone there, so edging my way along to the end of the track now. I think I include a little bit at the end just to showcase the start that I didn't really showcase at the start of the clip, which was a little bit dumb of me. Yeah, there we go. Third place. Okay, so that is No Rules Racing 2. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Blackendrose, and I will see you in my next clip, and I hope you all enjoyed this little review. Great work, EnderMCProductions, and take care, my friends. See you around.